You know what it was?
Stupid.
I think somebody disconnected the Bluetooth little connector for the controller. Somebody on the ship.
All they heard is the Bluetooth device is disconnected. And they're like, fuck!
We lost him.
Just implodes on itself. Okay. Welcome back to the depression session. Where we dig deep in our thoughts.
Okay.
Back with Mr. Weedman.
Okay. Hello.
Lithium, right?
Yep.
Mr. Lithium.
Hello.
Hallmark.
Yep.
And your boy, Mr. Rolf.
Yes, sir.
And start us off with our first subject, Mr. Weedman.
Okay. Well, I mean, how have you boys been since the last
I'm gonna
podcast?
fucking kill myself. You better start that shit.
And why is that? Why do you want to kill yourself?
Just kidding.
Are you?
Do we need to have a family intervention?
We did that a couple months ago.
You did an intervention?
It was a couple years ago.
Don't talk about that.
No.
Please,
Why is
no.
your seatbelt on?
Yeah, why do you have your
I feel
seatbelt?
comfortable. It just keeps me in like one place.
It makes you feel safe.
It makes me grounded.
It'd be if it wasn't on.
All right, well, welcome back to the Depression Session, guys. Thank you for joining. So we have a list here of things we want to talk about, and the first, see, we've never done this scripted before, so it feels very weird.
We'll figure it out. I got you. Don't worry about it. I'll produce this shit out of this.
So the first, I fucking hate this. So the first topic we have is what our parents did to us we wouldn't want to do as a kid.
Due to our kids, right?
Due
Yeah.
to our kids.
Yes, like what's something that your parents did to you as a kid that you wouldn't want to do to your kids? Like what's a lesson you learned not to do from your parents?
Because honestly, that's what parenting is about, is to learn from your parents to not fuck your own kids up. However, no matter what you're going to do, you're going to fuck them up. So I guess whatever.
I plan to be worse than my parents. I mean,
Go for you.
How so? What are you gonna do to your kids?
Huh?
What are you gonna do to your kids?
Oh, I'm not gonna be as lenient as I feel like my parents were with me.
Oh, fair.
Okay.
Fair. You feel like your parents weren't like strict
I
enough.
don't think they were strict enough.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, what about you, Rolf?
Probably the opposite of Mr. Hallmark.
Yeah, that was only because
Because you were the first.
I picked up on how to be a good kid for a while.
Okay.
And how to stay out of trouble. Except for the one time I punched a hole in the wall, and then I was just kind of.
And then after that, it was all
It was
downhill.
all uphill from there. So.
It's all uphill or downhill?
Yes, uphill.
Damn.
My parents were way too strict on me.
Yeah,
Really?
I don't know how that switched up so quick, but
What was the most absurd rule they had for you?
I had to ask them for everything. To
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah, me too.
Everywhere I was at, I had to give them a location, and I had to call them every so often. And
Do you think it's because, how old are you? Were you the eldest?
no,
No?
I'm the second oldest.
You're the second oldest? Do you feel like it's like a second oldest trait, or do you think it is like a cultural thing?
Probably because they fucked up with this one right here. That I got treated like shit.
that's why I was very lenient. I think I was bad in my own way, but not like in a way that they would have known. I did a
Really?
lot of stupid stuff.
Okay.
I didn't do like drugs or anything, but I was just like out at midnight.
Well,
I was
Everyone's done
exploring abandoned hospitals in the middle of like 3 a.m,
Yeah.
going places that I'd never told them I went.
that. I mean, everyone's done that.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, which is why I think they knew that I was doing stuff, so I think that's why they were a lot more strict with them.
Oh, fair.
I couldn't go anywhere.
Fair.
They know I didn't get bitches, so they didn't worry about kids. So
They don't gotta worry about that.
that's exactly right.
All right, what about you? What's something that your parents did that you wouldn't do? Just one thing. Just one thing.
Wait, hold on. Well, I was practically just raised by my mom. So, but because she had me so young, I had to grow up really fast. So instead of being my mom, she was more like my sister and a best friend. So, like, I grew up in an extremely lenient household.
Okay.
Because once she married my stepdad, that's when he kind of get a little bit more strict, and I was like, go fuck yourself. So,
Fair.
you can't start treating somebody like an adult and then start treating him like a kid. So, I mean, I am all for, like, leniency and being, like, open with your kids, but I highly needed structure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was not present in majority of the important things in my life because she was extremely depressed and, like just doing her own thing, and she was young and whatever, and was also living her life. So she wasn't as present in my, like, teen years as she should have been in, like, the things I was doing.
Okay.
So I feel like whenever I have kids, I want them to feel like they're supported and like whatever their interests are or things that they want to do is like supported by their parents.
Yeah.
And like giving them that structure and those guidelines at least.
Yeah.
So.
All right, fair.
Was your mama 16 and pregnant?
She got pregnant at 17, had me at 18.
Damn.
So.
Oh, my hero only.
And
2 years.
my grandparents are really young because, you know, they had kids younger, and her youngest brother,
That's
my uncle.
Crazy. You guys are gonna have like 3 or 4 generations before one of them passes away.
Yeah. So like my youngest uncle is only like 11 years older than I am.
Damn.
So we could all be siblings if like my grandparents really think that I'm the youngest. Like they forget I'm not theirs, and like I'm the youngest kid and not my mom sometimes. So
Interesting. Okay.
How's that make you feel?
it's rough, but I'm so used to it at this point in my life that it was just kind of like normal until I started talking to my therapist about it, and he was like, that's not supposed to be that way, and I was like, oh fuck, okay. I have a lot of like resentment with my mom about the way things were done when I was younger and with my siblings, and having to be an adult a lot faster, because I didn't really have like a childhood. I very much like had as if I was an adult.
Yeah.
So it's sucky, I guess, because like listening to like my friends or family who had like, oh, I played with toys, or I did this, or I had like blah blah blah. I didn't really do all that, so I was like, oh fuck, that's weird.
Yeah, like you guys went to Disneyland?
Well, I went to Disneyland a lot. That was like the one thing.
That was like the one thing?
That was the
I
one thing growing up that I was like,
Disneyland once or twice.
Yeah.
And then never again.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like everyone like has at least one core memory of something Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
And then some people never grow out of it, and that's how I get Disney adults.
Sure.
What do you guys think of Disney adults?
Wait, first of all, you haven't answered the question, so.
What do you guys think of Disney adults?
Oh, fucking hate them.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
I think
like,
it's just like the same shit over and over, and I'm like, how do you not get bored of this?
Yeah.
I love Disneyland. Like, trust me, I love
Disneyland's
Disneyland.
cool, but I wouldn't want to go once a week.
I
Yeah,
sure
no,
do.
I wouldn't.
I sure do. Hell yeah. Snacks?
No.
That's what I'm saying, all that
That's like a once a year kind of thing.
Oh, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
I'll go
Absolutely not.
once
Hold on.
a-
We're going to have to
Yeah. So
negotiate this.
once a year kind of Disneyland trip.
I'll be going, like, if I could, all the time, but I don't consider myself as a
I
Disney
just don't like rides, so I don't.
Oh, you don't?
Excuse me?
Okay.
I don't like roller coasters, and
Why not?
Huh?
Why not?
my dad took me on a roller coaster when I was like 3, and it scarred me for life.
Oh.
Just
Oh,
over it.
poor thing. Is
That's
that what
fair.
you would change about your childhood?
What I would change about it?
Like, with
Maybe.
your kid, you wouldn't drag your kid onto
No,
it?
honestly, I wouldn't want him to go on roller coasters either.
You
That's
can't,
fair.
you can't take away that.
You're gonna suffer like I did.
You can't do that. Okay, what about you? What something your parents did that you would not do to your future kids?
Probably be like
Smoke weed.
what? Probably be a little more consistent in like what's okay and what's not.
What do you mean?
Because they'd kind of flip flop a little bit on like the
Okay.
rules, and so
Okay.
it like kind of led to it being like I don't know what's right and what'll get me in trouble,
Okay.
and so I just kind of had to assume that like everything would get me in trouble.
Do you have an example?
I did until you asked. No, it wasn't like it wasn't one of those things where it's like there was a couple big moments. It was just kind of constant. So it was one of those things that I just like I got used to, so I kind of stopped like remembering it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely be more consistent with stuff, and then like mainly that.
Okay.
Mainly that.
So just setting like a strict, like, these are my opinions on this subject, and
Yeah.
like how to like move forward, I guess, with that. Like rules.
Just being more consistent.
Okay.
That's all it is. Just being more consistent.
Fair.
Yeah.
I think we need to reinforce common sense these days.
I think we need to reinforce bullying with kids.
Yeah. What do y'all think about bullying? Y'all like bullying?
I think bullying builds.
It made me who I am.
I think bullying definitely, and this is like
To an extent.
to an extent,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to an extent,
No extent.
it gives
Make social
character to kids.
I know.
It gives you some type of character, and it gives you some way to rebuild yourself.
Yeah,
Like, these kids nowadays are too fucking sensitive.
You mean pussies?
Yeah.
Yes.
Too sensitive and too politically correct, and that's because their parents are afraid to parent their kids and the things that are online. Like, once I have kids, they're not getting a fucking actual phone until they're like
13.
10.
13.
Okay. 10, 13, because they don't need to be influenced whatever's on TikTok.
What do you
or
think's a
whatever.
good age for a phone?
Was 13, 14 when she got her. I got her one.
Okay.
She was fine.
Yeah.
She was fine. I mean,
They don't need it. They don't need to see. But
she
however,
played, honestly, there's enough stimulus from like just playing like a game like Roblox, because it's already enough of a social interaction between
Yeah.
you and other people where you will find out like really quick, because there was some very sketchy things that happened on Roblox for a couple years.
Yeah, no, there really was.
And that was a period of time where a lot of conversations had to be had. So
That's fair.
my only issue though is that schools nowadays are all online based. Like a lot
Yeah.
of the things that are handed to kids when I used to work for the school district was that the kids were given like tablets or laptops, and that's what they kept the entire like elementary through junior high. And everything they did, whether it was papers, math, homework, was all online. And I was like, I don't like that, because now they have access to loads and loads and whatever other information that they don't necessarily need. Like, I am all for being open with your kids.
Yeah.
However, I rather them come up to me or an adult that they trust and be like, I don't understand what this is. Can you explain it to me? Instead of going to
Google.
Google or another 12-year-old and being like, what is this, and this, and then they get the wrong information, and then there goes the weird.
and then your impression, and that's it.
Yeah. But parents need to be harder on their kids. I 100% think like they need to be harder and stricter on their kids.
Yeah.
So you would rather them come up and ask you about it rather than you be preemptive about it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I grew up in an extremely open household. Extremely open. Was it a little too open? 100%. However, I was never afraid to go up to my mom and ask her like important questions or deep questions or questions about sex or questions about life or whatever. Was she always the best influence? Absolutely not. But at least I wasn't afraid to go up to my parents because we built that trust and at least some type of friendship to where I was comfortable having those conversations, because some people aren't comfortable talking to their kids. Like, you're not comfortable, or raised, you weren't comfortable talking to your parents about certain like subjects, right?
Yeah.
So.
Are you guys comfortable talking to your parents about stuff?
No.
No.
Exactly.
How come?
Huh?
How come?
Because we learned from a very young age. I was already on computers when I was 6 years old, so.
Fair. You just didn't have a need
There's
to.
nothing they can teach me that I don't already know.
Yeah, that's fair.
That point. Once I hit like 11, dude, I knew enough. I knew enough.
You knew enough to
You
know
knew more
that.
than your parents.
I knew enough. I knew
But-
how to find answers for myself.
Well, that's
What
the thing.
answers?
But do you think you found correct answers via that direction?
Fuck no.
Exactly.
No, no.
But here's the thing. Sometimes your parents aren't going to give you the correct answer either. Like, let's say I went to, I don't know, like your mom and my mom are very different people. If I went up to my mom and was like, hey, I want to have sex, I want to be put on birth control at 16, should have been like, all for it, rather you not get pregnant until blah, 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 blah. If you did the same thing, your mom would have probably freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because you were raised, even though my mom tried to raise me more Christian-like, did not happen. However, you guys were raised in a very more like Christian household to where like if you even brought up the topic of sex, you guys would be like, what the fuck? Yeah. So it really depends on how your parents are also raised and their also cultural and religious views.
Yes.
So it's
Varies.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So how about that submersible?
Oh my
that,
God.
so what do y'all think about that submersible that just fucking blew up?
imploded.
Yeah.
It's planned. It's a
Honestly,
conspiracy.
Oh, you think it's a
it was planned?
conspiracy?
What do you think it's a conspiracy for? Like, what
what
in the news happened?
What I was reading is that billionaire that was in there was in a lot of trouble with. He had a few lawsuits
Really?
that were up against him,
Okay.
and I think this was planned. If not planned, it was a good way for him to disappear.
Fair. So you don't think he was in there, then?
I don't think he was in there.
Okay.
What do you think about the other people that were? Or do you think no one
I don't
was?
think anybody was in there.
Yeah, because did they ever find bodies?
No, they're
They're-
not going to find a body, which I
They're
think.
not going to state whether they did.
I
All they
think
did
it
today
was-
was make an announcement saying that they found the implosion.
Oh, okay.
They're very sure that they found the implosion. That's the kind of words that they were using.
Yeah.
They're like, well, who knows for sure.
I mean,
I just find it very convenient that I was like right after they ran out of air that they found it, and not only that they couldn't send another thing down,
Yeah.
to find it when it was like 15 feet from the hole.
Yeah.
I'm like, so what took
What took like
48
4
hours?
days? Yeah.
Like,
It's like it was in the.
this long.
The thing just goes straight down. It's
And-
not like.
And like, how is there no tracker on this thing? Like,
Yeah.
Because the person that technically made it bought like half his shit from a houseware store.
Yeah, there was a lot of shit from Best Buy.
Are you
Like-
fucking kidding me?
They had a
No!
$20. There was a
It was
$20 Logitech game controller to pilot the thing.
That's
A
how
lot-
they piloted the thing was a Logitech fucking controller.
Yeah, it wasn't even an Xbox. If it was Xbox, it'd be forgivable, but not Logitech.
What a fucking dumbass.
There was like one button in the whole thing
That's-
to go down.
that's just kind of like my whole reasoning, like behind like that is like you're gonna get in it and you're gonna look and you're gonna be like,
But guess what?
what is
There
that?
was
Not
a-
even name brand.
There-
Like,
but
name brand.
here's the thing: they get in. There's not even windows. Everything that they're seeing is via monitors.
Right.
Yeah. Have you guys seen
Why?
the inside of it?
That's like
Yeah.
the size of like a minibus or whatever.
Yeah, that's
It's
shit.
like the size of like this.
Yeah.
It's not too big.
My question is, how the fuck do you get $250,000 and not upgrade your shit?
Yeah, I know,
The
honestly.
fuck, dude.
But there was 5 people down there,
You
so
were
that's
asking to get
250 a
fucked.
pop, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That's-
that was the inside of that.
And that's 5. You already have $1 million plus more.
Yeah. That shit is crazy.
And there's one button. You can't get out unless somebody lets you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was a good ploy for that man to disappear.
The guy that
Which
billionaire?
is well, which would kind of make sense as to why the sun wasn't freaking out.
Oh, everybody. We were
The
talking.
Kid
Oh, sorry.
went to a concert. Like, I'm coping. I don't think so. Your dad's impending doom.
I don't know. I'm gonna go to
He knew.
Coachella and do some MDMA. That's
He,
fine.
like he knew.
Stop Blink
There's
182.
there's no and or buts about it. Something happened. Dad needed to disappear, and that's what happened. He's
Fair.
on Epstein Island now.
I just think the entire thing is ridiculous. Like, one.
It just there's too many inconsistencies in the story where
Yeah.
it's like
Well, they've also
pick something. Like, what is the main problem here? Like,
Yeah.
they also stated that they've tried to do these runs with the other like not decoys, the other
Other submersibles.
subs, and each one of them lost its tracker,
Yeah.
and each one did not correctly
Come back.
come back.
Yeah.
So why would you, the 5th try, put 5 people in it
Yeah.
and think, oh, maybe 13,000 like feet underwater is nothing's gonna happen?
that's 50,000 feet.
Yeah.
15?
50, isn't it 50?
No, it was only 13,000.
It was 2 miles.
Is it 2 miles?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
People don't explore the ocean as much as you think they do. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't. It's
You
hard
can't get down there.
You can't
get
down there.
reliably.
Because-
Even 2 miles was like excruciating pressure.
because of the pressure. Like
Yeah.
you would have to build, and obviously this man's getting Logitech controllers. He's not putting the best fucking equipment on a submersible like that.
Yeah, it's trippy.
I know it was kind of funny. I found out about the Ocean Gate thing like maybe 2 months back, and I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. Going down to see the Titanic. I'm gonna do that when I get money.
Thank God.
So I saw it. And I was like, I'm gonna do that one day. And I'm like, thank God I never did.
I'm waiting for Elon to come out with his own
Well,
company.
you
for
know what's
that.
crazy is the billionaire that was on there. I think he was on one of Elon Musk's rockets or something like that.
That
Or
surprised me. I didn't read that much into him.
He
Yeah,
was
I
really
wouldn't.
close with Elon Musk.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Who knew? He may have been a competitor of some sort.
I don't know. Maybe.
There's a lot of conspiracy
Well, have you
theories
seen
you can
that-
pull together from that whole thing.
Yeah.
Elon
Like,
Musk.
how many billionaires were in there? It was 2? Wasn't there like 2
I mean,
billionaires?
there is like an expeditioner, like a
Yeah,
submarine
there's very
expeditioner.
wealthy people. Like, wealthy
Yeah.
people don't just
I mean,
disappear like
it
this.
costs $250,000
To
to
do
go.
this.
Right.
So
Like, these people don't just disappear for no reason. Like,
Yeah.
Piss.
like, how are you going to have that much money in your head and be like,
I'm
oh,
a-
yeah, let me go take a risk real quick?
Like
No,
a
it's
big
not
risk,
gonna
not
happen.
even just
not
a
a
little
small
risk.
one. It's a huge risk.
yeah, literally life
Like
threatening.
it's like a 1 out of 1 chance that you die. basically,
Yeah.
In this case.
It has a 100% failure rate.
100% failure.
So I don't know why anyone would fucking go on that thing.
You know what it
Fucking
was?
stupid.
Well,
I think somebody disconnected the Bluetooth little connector for the controller. Somebody on the ship.
all they heard is the Bluetooth device is disconnected. And they're like, "Fuck!"
We lost him. We lost.
Just implodes on itself.
I just don't understand how long had it been down there? I didn't
It
realize
was
So-
like a couple days,
it had been
well,
down there already. No, initially, like
What do you mean?
like before,
before
we
it
went missing.
lost. It's
Oh,
tracking.
only a couple hours.
It was-
Not even like it
So
was.
how did they get around? Listen, I understand the Titanic's a big ship, but
Yeah.
like You're in this area. It's like,
Where the Titanic.
where are
movie.
you gonna? Also, you gonna look like
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah. that's
underwater currents that just take
Take
you.
things.
Like
I mean, you can shift, but
it'll
they.
shift very like slightly.
But here's the thing: they lost contact within like 4 hours of them going into the
Right.
depths. However, they also think that it imploded before it even reached the level. So it would
Yeah.
have taken them because the entire expedition was supposed to be 6.5 hours. The entire thing.
Yeah,
That was from start to beginning 6.5 hours. So they didn't even probably make it down there 2 hours before it fucking like.
Yeah, I guess it could have gone when it was going down, but I'm just not convinced that there wasn't.
I think it was a
there
pressure issue.
people on
But yeah, well, unless you think it's a conspiracy.
What other conspiracy theories do you believe in, Hallmark?
Oh, so many
What's your favorite one?
pigeons.
Pigeons? What about pigeons?
They
Do you think they're
charge-
robots?
They be charging.
Do you think they're charged on the power lines?
The government.
The pigeons have microphones.
Fucking birds doing up there.
Is that why you try to keep them away from your house? Because they have microphones and cameras?
No, they just program them with this really weird like. Went on their fucking roof.
Oh,
That's how
okay.
they signal off the
Mm.
data that they receive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they have these little robot children that come in eggs. It's crazy.
It's wild.
What? What do you mean robot
They
children?
You ever heard of the
reproduce
bourgeoisie, buddy?
asexually.
Oh,
The
bourgeoisie. The bourgeoisie. What do you guys think about the rich class?
The rich.
Fuck those guys.
The rich class. What do you think about them?
It's debatable.
Okay.
Love to be rich. But
You
also
want to
hate
be them, but
rich.
you don't want to do what they do.
Yeah.
I would love to be rich, but not be rich.
That's fair.
Like if I won
I wanna be
the
upper
lottery, I
middle
wouldn't
class.
tell a soul.
I want to just
I
be
would
middle
disagree.
class, upper middle class, where I'm comfortable. I
Yeah.
don't need to be any more than that.
I don't want to know what they're doing. I would like to just be wealthy and.
But if you get enough money, you get to drink infant blood. So,
I don't want
Well,
that.
Androchrome sounds pretty nice.
honestly, yeah.
I could look like, you know.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
You don't want to look at that.
Middle tooth. What do you think of that whole androchrome thing?
I don't know what we're talking
They it's like ingesting like fetuses to be younger.
Androchrome.
Yeah.
It's when they like they make the children so scared that they produce
Oh,
Oh,
it's
stress.
like
yeah.
the whole idea behind
What?
Monsters Inc.
Yeah, you never heard about
What?
that? Yeah, androchrome. I don't know if this is real
What
or
the fuck
not.
are we talking about?
But androchrome is this thing where they like traumatize a child and like extract the like
There's
Essence?
there's
Wait,
a-
sucking essences and souls
no,
out
they
of
take
kids?
their blood
There's
out.
a hormone that's created when you get scared.
Yeah.
And it's
It's in-
apparently so pure that it.
Yeah. So they scare children.
versus
Adrenal
aging.
gland? Yeah.
Yeah, and so it
That's what
produces
it is,
shit in the blood, and they take the blood out, and then they consume it
That's
because it like
awful.
But
makes
as
them
soon
younger.
as they scare them, they kill them and drink their blood instantly.
Yeah.
And then like it supposedly has such good benefits for you that you
What
can
year are
stay
we
so
living in?
young for so long.
Well, they did the same thing about doing, what is it? Like, stem cells.
Yeah.
Stem cells are the same thing.
That's basically what
It
it is.
basically, yeah, it's just like it's like
That's
on
what you can't do in
steroids.
the US.
It's like stem cells but on steroids.
It's fucking wild. What?
It is crazy.
I hope that's not happening.
Yeah, stem cell therapy is so good that we can't do it in the U.S. Of course.
It's
Yeah.
because they think of it as inhumane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adrenochrome is a chemical compound produced by the oxidation of adrenaline.
Well, that's why they state that watching horror movies and putting yourself in fake horror situations is actually really good for you because you know that it's fake, but your body and those glands don't realize that fear response is fake, so you're still going through all the motions of fear in a healthy manner.
Yep.
So it's releasing those endorphins and those adrenal glands.
Yeah. That's good to face fears. You guys been
Superhuman strength.
super
I love
demonstrating?
horror movies.
You do? What's your
I'll
favorite
watch
horror
any.
movie?
As above, so below.
Really?
As above, so below.
That's interesting.
What's that one about?
Interesting choice.
It's.
The catacombs.
I am so fascinated with the catacombs
Really? Why?
because I think it's such there's so much of it they haven't explored.
Fair. Yeah.
And it like blows my mind that like how far it goes and how
True.
like
That's a good movie.
massive that
That's
it is. That's the only movie that's genuinely like put the fear of God in me.
It's scary though. Can you imagine getting lost down there?
People
Oh,
have.
yeah.
People have died.
People die in there, dude.
Yeah.
That's what makes it scary.
It's because it's like people will go like cave diving, but in the catacombs.
Oh fuck all that cave
and-
diving bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
I've been seeing
terrifying.
people. If I'm like this, I'm trying to fit through the whole
Yeah.
area. They're like, make sure one hand's through, and you're just kind of sliding through.
If you have
And
to,
I'm like, no.
You have to rebirth yourself.
yeah, if you have to exhale all of your air so your chest is small enough to fit through a hole, I'm not fucking going.
Have you heard about like I think it's like the peanut butter, or it's like the I don't know, it's like peanut whatever fucking galley that somebody got stuck in and
Yeah,
died?
yeah, they were upside down.
Upside down.
Yeah,
Oh, putty.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
putty something. Yeah, yeah. Then there were those Thai kids that got stuck in the cave, and the rescuers died getting them or some shit.
I don't think they
Was
died.
that the,
No.
the soccer?
Yeah, the soccer team.
Soccer
the
team.
Time, but they didn't.
Yeah.
The rescuers didn't
They
die.
didn't die.
I must be thinking of something else then.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're talking about like
she's-
the underwater
she's,
one.
No, she's thinking about they covered that hole because of it, right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So they covered the hole, and now it's just a landmark saying like you can't like it.
Yeah,
That's
do
his
not
grave.
go
That's
in.
his permanent grave.
So
Yeah.
he got stuck at a weird angle.
Upside
that
down, yeah.
To get him out, they'd have to break his femur.
Yep.
And pull him out.
Yeah, it would have
But
essentially rip him in half.
He
don't-
was like this. So like this is the hole. This is his body. So he was literally at this like angle.
He was curved. Yeah.
He was curved. So all the blood rushed to his head and he suffocated.
Yeah, he was like there for like
A couple hours.
a couple hours.
But yeah,
That
I'll have you watch that.
asphyxiation is crazy.
Yeah, I'll have you watch that.
Dude,
movie.
imagine
It's
what
really
kind of
good.
things he saw before he died.
Dude.
He was-
Darkness.
He
Must
was
have been
talking to his
hallucinating.
brother for a long time
Yeah.
before he just like.
yeah.
He just like stopped talking.
Yeah, he just kind of gave up.
He died.
Yeah.
He died of asphyxiation. It was
But
crazy.
well, I'll have you watch that movie. It's actually really good.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a movie?
As above, so below.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were
I thought they
dumbass.
made a movie.
No,
about
no,
I'm
no.
sure that. Well, there's
Sure they
127
will.
hours, so.
So a catacomb. So the catacombs are a weird like interest fascination you have. What's a weird interesting what's a weird interest / fascination that you have, Rolf?
Skinwalker Ranch.
Skinwalker Ranch.
Interesting.
And what's
Okay.
that?
It's funny. I was just
So,
talking about this the other night.
It's
Oh my
it's a
God.
ranch in Utah
Okay.
where
Is
just
that in Utah?
Mhm.
it's just where paranormal stuff happens,
Okay.
and it's called Walker Ranch for a reason.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
there's skinwalkers on
Oh,
the
fair.
ranch.
Do you
Okay.
believe in skinwalkers?
I do.
I
Kinda.
a lot of like our basis of our faith is like based on the idea that there's these things called fallen angels
Yeah.
that
Like
fucked
demons,
a lot
basically.
of humans,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
and then there was just this decline of like they fucked animals and animals fucked other animals, and they became these creatures.
Yeah.
So people don't
Yeah.
know.
Is this in the Bible?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's this
What about
nothing you ever
Wendigos?
hear about though.
Wendigos are skinwalkers.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
skinwalkers.
They're,
Basically, the
they're
same thing.
Indian. So
It's folklore. We're talking
cannibalism.
about folklore versus like something another person has a name
Yeah,
for.
so a Wendigo is basically
I know what
a
a Wendigo is.
skinwalker. Yeah, and it's just based off of cannibalism, but it's in like
Yeah.
different,
Yeah,
like
the Appalachian Mountains.
yeah. It's just cannibalism really, and then so at
I
this
played
ranch.
Until Dawn. I know what it means.
Yeah, let's just say I like to eat people out. Okay.
You're the worst.
So at this ranch, there's like a family that lived there, and
They bought that ranch.
yeah, they bought the ranch.
You know, let me tell you a little quick thing. So my friend, funny enough, I met this guy on VR chat. He's a
What?
archaeologist.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, you're telling me about him. Okay.
Yes, he is friends with the guy that owns the
Mhm.
ranch.
Really?
And he said I would never fucking go
Oh
there.
my god.
He's like, I have seen enough being there, just being there. Like, you
So
ever,
he's been there.
You ever had like the weight of evil, like just sitting on you?
Some,
It's like,
yes.
I've had
like
that.
you get like anxiety in your
Yeah.
chest when you enter a room, that
Yeah.
kind of shit. Like you walk there, you're fucking feeling
Oh
that
my
shit the whole
God.
time.
What? So, this is your knowledge. What about that area summons or brings is the circle? Why is it there specifically?
Why?
Yeah.
So they believe it's like extraterrestrials.
You think it's like a hot spot?
Yeah,
It's
I
a
believe,
hotspot. I think it's a portal.
Yeah.
Oh, you
what-
think it's a portal?
That's
Oh,
what people commonly refer
So you know the orbs, the spiritual orbs that you see. Okay, so at that ranch, you see them all the time.
Yeah,
like you
they-
just see them floating.
They just go.
And so, I think my theory is that they show up because it's like a portal into our realm,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just walk through. And so I feel like a lot of spiritual stuff happens there. Just like Wendigos. Wendigos are spiritual, like the spirit of cannibalism. You know, it just kind of like exist.
It's like a manifestation of sin.
Yeah.
It's like however you want to put it, it's just a
Do you
manifestation.
think it's the man? Okay, so do you think they're bad? Are we saying that they're
Yes.
negative?
Yeah, they're evil. They're
They-
evil beings.
they
Well,
killed.
skinwalkers and Wendigos, 100%. But like
Yeah.
everything else
Well,
surrounding,
the orbs aren't inherently bad.
They're
You
not
just see
inherently.
them. You just see them and you get
they're
freaked
very
out.
hot. Like it's a hot spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And but that ranch specifically, like most of the owners before were murdered, and
very unexplainable.
unexplained ways,
Hmm.
just all the time. Like you go there and you realize, holy fuck, like this place is scary as shit,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a huge plot of land.
It's in the desert, right?
Like,
Yeah.
just miles and miles of nothingness.
Nothing, and there's just a farmhouse in the middle of it.
Oh God.
Have you never watched Skinwalker Ranch, like the actual
that
like show?
shit's-
I would
fucking
never
scary,
watch
bro.
it, dude. I'm too scared of that stuff.
On like what, the History Channel?
It's whatever it is, something like that.
Dude, that stuff's scary. And I remember being in Utah one time, and I looked it up, like how far away I was, and it was probably like maybe an hour drive.
You wouldn't have gone
I would not have
if they
gone.
did like tours. You wouldn't do it.
No, I was freaked out just being in Utah.
You were freaked out
Jeez,
being in the
Utah
state.
itself.
It's
Being
because like
anywhere near a reservation is scary,
Yeah.
dude. Like,
Yeah, reservations.
You know, that's what they say is like never stop on the interstate if you're ever going through a reservation. Like never.
Well, they're
They say never to stop. None under any circumstances. You never
dangerous.
stop and you never get out of your car.
Yeah.
Ever. And if you hear shit, you fucking
You go?
You keep going.
you keep fucking going.
You don't look back. You
Who
look
cares if your
straight
tires
forward.
pop? You keep fucking going.
Yeah.
well, that's the thing. They mock sounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
They fucking sound like anything,
Yeah.
anything
Because
to
a
get
lot
you
of
to walk towards them.
It's
Yeah.
like a lot of it was like they'll sound like somebody you know,
Or
they'll
a baby crying is very
mimicking
common.
the words help
yeah.
or something to kind of like guide you towards that necessary.
Oh.
Or screaming, bro. Screaming is so
Dude,
eerie, bro.
Have you seen that new movie coming out with the Skinwalkers?
Which one?
Yeah,
I
I've
forgot
seen
what it's
that.
called.
I know what you're talking about.
But it was like the ad was him looking like through a sniper,
Yes. I've
and
seen
then because he heard like some guy saying help, help me,"
Maybe.
So he looks, and then he notices a naked guy. So he
Absolutely.
comes back down, and then his phone goes ding, and then he looks back, and the thing's just running on all fours towards
Absolutely
him.
not.
Dude, I'm like, I got scared for him. I'm like, can you imagine? Because this dude ran so fucking fast. He probably like cleared like 300 feet.
A hollow tree?
Yes,
The
dude.
Yeah, a
hollow tree?
hollow tree. Yeah.
That shit looks so scary, bro.
I think
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
God.
It's through the podcast that I
Fuck
listen to.
no.
with the people.
Dude, we should
I
all
love
go.
horror movies, but shit, I don't know if I want to see that
Yeah.
one.
I mean, that's my entire life. That's all I do.
As long as we go during the day, I'm good.
So we're doing a podcast at Skinwalker Ranch then.
Dude, I would fucking leave, bro. You couldn't pay me to go there, bro.
really, you could.
I'm genuinely fucking afraid of that shit.
That's fair. That's fair. I do not blame
Some
you.
people don't understand. I'm like,
I don't play with Ouija boards for a reason.
that's.
No.
I don't
that's
fuck
what I
with
say.
skinwalkers or wendigos for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mothman though, he's fine.
Dude, yes,
Dude, I
bro.
hate the idea of looking out of a window and like something's there. Like,
Yeah,
it's
no.
just barely out
Trust
of
me.
vision.
Every single night I look out my window, I'm like, please, please. There's one time I saw like a snake moving on the ground. It was a big one. I was like, what the fuck is that? Because I couldn't tell what it was. So it was just this long thing moving on the ground. I was like,
But like, my entire existence is like horror movies and horror experiences. Like I've done a ton of scary shit. I've seen a lot of scary shit. Like I've participated in a lot of scary shit. But there's certain things that I'm like,
No, dude.
Ouija
Yeah.
board.
I won't fuck
anything
with a
that
Ouija board.
summons anything or talks to
won't.
anything. No,
Like, I'll go near one, but I'm not gonna play with it.
I won't
Yeah.
touch it. I won't touch anybody. That's
I won't
like
be in the
really.
room with you.
yeah, I won't have one in my house.
I won't be on the phone
genuinely
with
will
you
freak
when
out.
you're doing it.
I won't buy one either. Like,
I won't even do hand palm readings from
Dude,
people.
I don't, bro.
Yeah.
don't
no,
do
I won't do
anything.
palm readings either.
No
Makes me a
palm
little
readings,
uncomfortable.
bro.
But
What about crystal balls?
my crystals? Hold on, let me summon my crystal really quick.
Dude, there was this one time I was at like a father-son camp,
Yeah.
and
Huh.
I
all my
remember that.
friends were there, and they're like, let's download this app and see if there's good or bad spirits around.
Oh, like the ghost tracking apps?
Yeah,
No, it wasn't a Ouija board.
but it wasn't a Ouija board. And I remember them like scanning around. And mind you, this is in the forest.
Silverwood
so-
Lake.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Where shit happens.
and I'm like, that's where a lot of people say they see like deer on the hind legs and stuff.
Oh, on their hind legs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so they pointed out in the middle of the forest, like middle of nowhere, and all you see is like green, and then red. And then they move, and then they go back, and it's still red. It's still there, and they kept And they kept going towards it, and I fucking left.
Oh my god.
I didn't say anything. I pretend like I didn't see anything.
Yeah, you just left.
And
Yeah.
like I was genuinely so scared that I had my hand on my ears.
Yeah.
And, like,
Oh,
was closing my eyes
you
'cause
baby.
I was so fucking scared. And ever since that day, like I've just had like an eternal fear for like the forest and like
Yeah.
not
Ghosts?
being.
No, I feel
Dude,
Yeah,
I
not being
can't.
able
I
to
can't
see
sleep
things.
well whenever we go to camp because I've been to camp like 5 times now
Yeah.
with our church, and it's
Mhm.
every time I go up there, I can't sleep.
I just had him watch all the original Evil Deads and then the 2013 Evil Dead, and he
Okay.
was like, "I
Those
don't
are pretty good.
understand like why they're fucking with the book." I was like, "People
Yeah.
be doing people."
If I found an old book in plastic and barbed wire in a
Made out of-
cabin,
Made out of flesh.
yeah,
Human flesh?
I'm leaving it
500
alone.
feet down in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm
you
leaving
know?
I'm leaving that shit alone. I'm sorry.
Not touching it.
Surrounded by a bunch of hanging dead cats, like I'm good.
Dude, you know what movie kind of scared me a lot was Pet Cemetery.
The movie's fucked.
Pet Cemetery.
Dude, it is
I've never
honestly
seen it.
such
I
a
know
fucking
of it.
scary
but-
movie. And
We'll watch it. I don't necessarily like it because I don't want to see a kid get ran over by a bus or a giant fucking semi.
yeah, dude,
Makes me uncomfy.
that stuff
But
gave me chills because I really don't like Wendigos.
Yeah.
That movie is just that's all it is.
Oh really?
no,
Oh.
Well, kinda.
it's Indian lore.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
pretty much it's like Indian lore ground, pretty much burial ground where they have a pet cemetery, and if you bury your pet there, it's proven that they would come back, but it's not the same, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I
then,
know
it's
the
almost
movie
like-
now.
and then
Okay.
they bury
Okay.
their son who dies, and then he comes back, and obviously Gage is not
He's
Gage
kind of like
anymore
he's kind of like a
So something's
skinwalker
in-
almost.
Fair.
inside of his body, and then
Yeah.
shit goes wild. But it's interesting.
Yeah.
Stephen King.
Oh, Stephen King. That makes sense.
Makes
That
It
makes
was
sense.
honestly
Yeah.
it was honestly pretty terrifying and it made me really uncomfortable.
Really.
I couldn't finish it. I was on a plane, by the way,
Oh.
and I think I was flying to Texas,
Okay.
and it was a long flight, so I watched it, and I didn't want to finish it because like I was genuinely fucking terrified,
Yeah.
and I'm like, holy shit! It was just like the fact that they buried the kid in
In an area where something's supposed to
In
come
it-
back.
a burial ground.
I mean, grief is a hard thing to do. Like, if you
Yeah.
have an idea that your kid can maybe come back, obviously a lot of parents will do it.
Yeah, it's because like
I wouldn't.
the neighbor spoke
Nope.
into his ear like, "Hey, he'll come back if you bury him here." And the dad was defensive, like, "Why the fuck are you telling me this? My kid just died."
Yeah.
But then he ends
Because
up
then he
trying to
gets
do
to
something-
thinking about it.
He
ends up
was trying to do
doing
something good.
it. Yeah.
Doesn't take much to change people's minds.
Well,
Yeah,
he
no,
realized
he
it
doesn't.
was true after their cat came back.
Church.
Mm.
Yeah, church, and then he buried his kid there, and then shit just started getting weird, and his kid came back, and then he ended up finding like stitches on his kid or whatever, like holes.
Well, he was like decomposing.
Yeah.
So, but he also was hit by a semi. So yeah, he was stitched back together.
Yeah, like you would after like a mortician
Yeah.
like checked you out.
Kind of like Frankenstein kind of shit. how it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
oh,
he's
yeah.
like he's definitely like he's got like scars and tissue, and he's like grayish toned
Yeah.
because he's not technically like his body is he's in use, but not
Not
he
there.
probably- Not there.
Yeah,
soulless.
Yeah,
it's like
soulless,
looking
yeah.
at a brick wall. Pretty
Mm.
fucking terrifying. I didn't like it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah.
Did you watch the new one? The more updated version of that movie? That came out a couple years ago? It's fine.
It was the one that came out a couple years ago.
You watched that one, you didn't watch the original one.
I didn't watch the original one.
The original one's first.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
A lot of the original ones are.
Except for Evil Dead.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah. Have you guys seen the Evil Dead movies?
Yeah.
I think I watched one or two of them.
Have you seen the second one?
I don't know.
That second
So
one,
long.
oh my god. That
He
shit
was like, I don't understand what's happening. Everything's so happening too
It
fast.
was
And I had to like
so
pause the
over
movie
the
and be like,
place.
okay.
Because like within the first 10 minutes of the movie, the entirety of the first movie happened.
That's the one where they, like, the live footage, right?
No.
Okay.
No, that's Blair Witch.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Blair
Blair
Witch
Witch.
is pretty good too.
Blair Witch
Yeah.
is fantastic.
I
I've done a
just-
Blair
I
Witch
liked it.
escape room. Hell yeah, it's a
Is
lot of
that's the one that takes place?
1970s,
They had two of them.
right?
Yeah, 1970s. That's what it was.
Yeah, the
And, like
first
the
one.
kid
was
gets
in the 70s.
taken or something like
No.
the middle of the night. I can't
No,
fucking remember.
Absolutely not.
that's the one where they, or I'm thinking The Exorcist.
Hold on.
Yeah.
There's
So,
many
okay, so
movies
the-
that have like the same
Yeah.
premise.
Okay,
It's
so
kinda hard
the
to-
the Blair Witch
Takes place
is
in the 90s.
yeah the 90s, and it's a found footage film.
Yeah.
And then the Exorcist is when a girl plays with a Ouija board,
Yes,
doesn't
yes,
say
yes, yes,
goodbye,
yes.
and that's when the 70s.
I had to explain that to you.
Okay.
I
yeah,
also
yeah.
fell asleep watching that
Okay,
movie,
which
and
is-
then he got stuck watching it by himself.
Which is the one with the footage where they're expelling a demon?
A lot of movies.
The one with like the infamous people who have like the plethora of cursed objects in the house.
Oh.
What? Are you talking about the Conjuring movies?
The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Yes. The newest one was so stupid.
Yeah, it was really
That was
stupid.
freaking stupid.
Well, you saw the first one.
Yeah, I saw the
Okay,
first
the newest one was stupid. I've seen the old ones, and they were way better than the newest one. I was like,
I
fuck,
agree.
it's pretty stupid. But, yeah, the Blair Witch Project, when homie was caught lacking in the building with the monster, and he just wasn't looking, and
the
then
corner?
he was speaking to him.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck no, because you know how I feel
There's a
about
lot of-
Wendigos, dude.
There's a lot of lore that with the Blair Witch Project, and that's why like a lot of people didn't catch it with the first movie because you only catch a lot what they're saying in brief moments. But like in the new movie that they did, they explained it a little bit more, and I'm like, oh, like she or the witch killed them in 2 different ways. That she had one stand in the corner while she killed the other person, and then attacked that person in the corner.
Right.
So
Was, it kind of reminded me of, like, how Wendigos, like, get people to look at them.
Mhm.
But she wasn't a Wendigo, right?
no, it was just a
She was
witch.
just a witch.
Just a witch,
Just
yeah.
a witch.
A witch and a bitch.
You should do the Blair Witch Escape Room in Vegas. It was a lot of fun.
How about I kill myself?
It was so much fun. You guys would shit your pants though. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I don't want to be around anything that resembles stuff
I'm
like
okay, bro.
It's fake. It's a fake
that.
situation.
Doesn't matter.
Dude, I'll freak out, bro.
In the Blair Witch Project? Yeah, touching fucking witches.
Dude, I have,
Just
like,
artifacts.
okay, so,
Just
like,
a haunted
There's
book,
a whole
you know.
lot.
I have an innate fear of water. And just, like,
put you underwater. Well,
no. What I'm saying is, like, if water scares me, that's just gonna scare me.
you'll be fine.
So what about water scares you?
Dude, it doesn't matter what kind of water it is. It can be clear, but if it's nighttime
That's fair.
and I can't see the
Do you
bottom,
get the weird, like, intrusive thoughts where you're like, there's a shark in this pool, but even though you're not, like, there's no way a shark is
I
in the
feel
pool?
like something's gonna grab me.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
I almost drowned in a pool at night.
Well, that's fair.
I,
That's where that fear
I
comes
swam
from.
to the middle and I couldn't feel the bottom, and I don't know what just happened. Like, something flicked in my brain, and I just started splashing, and I was like starting to drown, and I could grab the edge. I just didn't know it was there.
A lot of times when people are drowning, they're panicking, and they're panicked so much they just can't see like anything in front of them.
I blacked out. I literally blacked out, and then I finally grabbed the edge and I pulled myself out of the pool and I ran.
Yeah.
Well, that's what my job is.
Yeah.
Is water safety. Is like if a kid falls into the water, they understand like, okay, I understand that when I'm in water, I'm comfortable in water. I know how to turn to a wall, find the wall. Get
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
So.
grown up swimming, whatever. I just,
Sorry.
like, for whatever reason, there's this one time my father and I were fishing a canal,
Yeah.
but it was pitch black.
Ooh.
But I was so scared I couldn't leave the truck,
Yeah.
and you could hear the water, but the canals are so dangerous that if you fell in, you die.
Yeah.
Like,
So why were you guys fishing at night there?
I don't know. My dad was just like,
Night fishing is a normal
my
thing.
dad's all fish. Fuck yeah. Fishing.
No, I feel like that's my grandfather.
And so we had little headlamps.
Yeah.
You turn it on, but you can only see,
Yeah.
this much
Yeah,
in front of
whatever.
you.
Yeah.
So I got brave and I stood up and I walked towards the canal and I looked at the water and I was fucking.
Like,
I
nope,
jumped
nope.
right back onto the truck and I waited there for like an hour for him to finish fishing.
Fair.
What about you? What is something that you are obsessed with or continuously obsessed with?
I had a weird obsession with the Titanic when I was younger,
Oh, is that what?
which was why I was looking into the Submersible about it.
He was really mad because I kind of was trying to talk to him about it yesterday, and he was like, and then I was in the shower, and then he was like, I just wanted to wait to watch this fucking video before you spoiled anything about the Titanic.
I wanted to watch Moist Critical's opinion on it. Okay, I'm sorry.
What the fuck is he gonna tell you that you don't know already?
I don't know.
He just wanted me to spoil it for him.
Yeah, baby.
But no, I was really obsessed with the Titanic when I was younger for some fucking reason. I could not tell you. There's something about it that was like, big ship go down.
Dude.
I just liked seeing the like. I guess I liked seeing how the ocean like took it over, and like what happened to it afterwards. It's kind of like the same thing where like abandoned buildings, like seeing what nature does to humans when we're gone.
It's interesting. It's
Ah, I
interesting.
see.
That sort
It's
of
like
thing.
an innate interest with most people. It's like, I want to see what's in there. Like,
Yeah, it's like I wanted to see what was in there, what creatures were living there. It's like I kind of liked seeing what the Earth did to the stuff we built.
It
kind of.
wasn't the
Reclaims
fact that
all
it
those
was
reclaims.
supposed to be the unsinkable ship.
That
wasn't
too.
something
That's
like
part
that.
of it. Yeah.
And what happened to those people?
Yeah, that too. And like how unprepared it was. You know, it's kind of ironic that the ship that sank because of people being unprepared also caused an unprepared submersible to die.
There you go. Don't fucking touch shit is what it is.
Like,
Leave
wh-
things alone.
Take some pictures and be done.
Like, what is it about the
Literally.
Titanic that makes people die because they're unprepared?
People just be wanting. I don't know. It's been
Or
100 years.
ill-prepared.
100 years.
Yeah.
What about Amelia Earhart and those coconut crabs?
They fucking got her. They got her. That's
Dude,
what happened.
they
They got
fucking
her.
ate her, bro.
They got her.
Coconut
Want to know
crabs.
why they couldn't find her fucking body?
Coconut
They ate
crabs.
her.
Coconut crabs.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, what do you guys feel about the
Bermuda Triangle? Bermuda?
holy fuck.
I
Bermuda
feel like
Triangle.
I feel like the Bermuda Triangle, waterfalls, fucking quicksand were all things that we were raised to be afraid of growing up, and there's no fucking reason why
Yeah.
we're gonna be anywhere near those.
Well, I mean, they found the reason for the Bermuda Triangle. It's because there's gas that comes up from the seafloor that makes the water less buoyant, so that's why
Sink.
things sink.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because
That's
there's
so sick.
I don't remember why. There was something on the ocean floor that caused gas to get into the water.
Volcanoes, right?
a
Some,
volcano.
yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. And so it made the water
It's
less
also like
dense.
hyper like magnetic over there.
Yeah, stuff like that. It was kind of just a perfect
It's
storm.
a
that
weird like section of
Yeah.
Earth where everything is just clashing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But I was like terrified of the Bermuda Triangle when I was little, and I was like,
Yeah,
I
this
think
is fucking-
Scooby Doo did that to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not
Scooby
gonna
Doo. Yeah.
lie. That episode on Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
They're on the ship.
Yeah.
Scooby
Scooby-Doo
Doo
was
did it in for me. Yeah.
Scooby Doo was the Bermuda Triangle. Fucking Johnny Quest was quicksand. That motherfucker was always getting in quicksand.
Dude. Oh, God, bro.
Indiana Jones too.
Indiana
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah.
Anytime I watch George of the Jungle,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I'm like, these are the things that are gonna get me.
Yeah.
And I was prepped though.
Yeah. No,
No ships. Never.
no ships, never. Never.
Dude, I am. Yeah, I
I'm
don't
scared
like
of the
boats.
ocean.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I
love
have
the
a fear
ocean.
of water.
that's fair.
Dude, I fucking freak
Open
out.
water.
Yeah.
A lot of people to the open water, but we also know more about space than we do about our own oceans.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I think what's the most terrifying.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's funny. It's easier to get into space than it is down.
Yeah, I know.
Down into our own oceans.
It's like, what the fuck is down in the Mariana Trench?
A
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
at the
things that we
bottom.
don't
That
need to
is
know.
crazy.
Do you guys believe in like the mega kraken still being alive?
Do you mean
Yeah.
like the megalodon
I
too?
think
Yeah,
there
Megalodon, the
are- I
Kraken.
think they're dinosaurs
Yeah.
still down there.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
There's like
There's something
has to
down
be
there.
down something
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
I don't think they got all wiped out. I mean, it would be really stupid to think that everything got wiped out.
Yeah.
Well,
I think a
especially
lot
with
of
the
stuff
Mariana
did.
Trench.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things out. There's a lot of species we still have not discovered in the
Yeah.
ocean.
And there's a lot we will never discover.
I hope we do.
Well, haven't we only explored 5%?
Yeah,
Yes.
we've only
all
like,
bodies
Five
of water.
of all body of water.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Growing up, I've always been more attracted to like the morbid curiosities of life. So it's like hard to pinpoint something that I've been specifically like researched. Like I did the whole ghost hunting thing. I've done like
20% of the
20%.
seafloor. 20%.
That's still not. A
Yeah,
lot.
that's still not a lot, but
That
it's
is
20%.
nothing.
Yeah.
How many
But-
nautical miles that is? Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah. Go on.
But I've always been like the morbid curiosity, whether that's ghosts and demons and that stuff. Like I did a lot of that when I was growing up. Whether that was serial killers, I was obsessed with like the Manson murders for like
That was pretty good.
that's
Yeah.
and that's mostly because I wanted to understand what made somebody follow somebody
Have you
like
done
that.
any research on his cave?
His cave,
Yeah.
the one at like out here.
Uh-huh.
They just it's like one of the sanctuaries. Like all his spots are like not far from here.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Podcast in the Manson Cave?
We can go to the western town that they lived
Dude,
at, but I don't know if you
I
want
want to know more about the Mason. What was it called? The
Freemasons?
Freemasons.
Yeah, the Freemasons. Those guys are.
They do some weird shit.
It's
I
just
really,
the Illuminati, but earlier.
huh?
It's just that's where the Illuminati comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Do you want to know what's crazy? At our school, it was at the end of a field trip. There was one of those students. He was one of those kids that was like, he was a good kid, but he had a hard life, so that's why he was a bad kid. You know what I mean?
You have a Freemason ring.
No, one of the bus drivers for the charter buses at the very end of the field trip was like, hey man, he was talking to him like, hey, I could tell you're a good kid, yada yada yada, come to the meetings, it'll help you. And he gave him like a Freemason card. And I remember thinking that, I was like,
Dude, Dude,
Well, there's a Freemason lodge here.
I know there was a guy.
What?
Yeah, it's over by the mall. You know that little blue building
Mm-hmm.
on?
It has it has a triangle on it.
Yeah, it's a little blue building
Yes,
on a.
I've seen
It's a triangle with a line that goes through it.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
protractor with an eye in it.
that. Yeah, I've seen
But
I think I've ever seen it.
Here, I'll show you a photo
Yeah.
of it.
But growing up, I always wanted to do research on serial killers because I didn't understand their brains.
Mm.
But I also tend to have sociopathic tendencies. So like, I've had this conversation with you, so don't even try to like.
No, I was looking at this. I was looking up a thing for the Freemason lodge, and like a strip club came up. I don't
Oh,
know,
yeah.
but this building.
That is it.
Yeah,
Now that I'm thinking about
Yeah,
it.
I've seen
yeah,
that.
that's been there ever
Years.
since I've been a kid.
Years.
Yeah,
For years.
go on though.
So like the Manson murders specifically, because how can you be so smart but so dumb at the same time and then have people follow you?
Yeah,
Because
I mean-
Charles was wickedly smart, however, not smart enough to get somebody to have like a group of people to kill just random
yeah,
celebrities.
yeah, and also like Jonestown. Like, how do you get people to do that?
Some of it was forced though.
Yeah, fair.
Jonestown and
Manson.
mm,
What about Heaven's Gate?
Heaven's Gate was forced on them
Yeah,
because they didn't want. A lot of those people didn't want it. Like you can still watch those tapes on YouTube and it's fucking terrifying.
yeah,
Like their last tapes, and a lot of those people didn't want to die. However, they were forced to.
yeah.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Heaven's Gate.
It's a cult.
It was a cult that like believed dying would get them to like.
Wait. They killed themselves, right? 50 of them?
Yeah,
Okay. I was low-key gonna ask about that, but I didn't know what it's called.
Heaven's
Heaven's
Gate.
Gate.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
It was basically this group of people that thought like if they died they'd become aliens or some shit.
There
right?
was a ship that was gonna come get them.
Yeah,
And that.
They believed there was a
Didn't,
mothership that was
Key and
gonna.
Peele make a little skit about that?
Oh, I'm
Oh
sure
my
they
gosh.
did. I'm sure they
Pretty
did.
sure they did.
I'm sure they did. Yeah. It was like what, the 80s?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Late
Yeah,
80s.
It was just a group suicide, right?
It was
Yeah.
pretty much that.
It
So
was-
Wait, so there's films on that?
they have their last tapes.
Yeah.
That's so fucking
But
sad.
they gave 2 people a job that they would stay alive and run the Heaven's Gate website to keep them updated.
Yes.
So that website is still running
Yep.
and still has the tapes and still all the artifacts and all the other stuff on there that you can research.
You can just look at it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you seen them?
I've heard the tapes. Yes.
How
Yeah.
terrifying. are
They're
they?
fucked up.
Yeah.
Like it's not anything that is like you're gonna see and people are like, oh my god, like it's bloody or anything. It's just really sad.
It's just like eerie because they were all like, they were
Happy.
all in beds. They were all covered head to toe,
Toe.
feet pointing straight up. There's a bunch of weird shit because they believed they needed to do that in a certain
But
way.
they also had tapes like a couple days before they died about like, oh, what are you excited about when the ship comes? And all these people are like so excited and happy and telling their stories, and they just are so excited about getting like transported to the mothership. And then you like,
That's what it all looked like. They're all shit covered with blankets, all wearing the same clothes,
Oh,
same
shit.
shoes. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
yeah, it's like you can watch like the before tapes. It's really
Yeah.
fucked up. Yeah, like that.
Yeah. That's what every single person looked like.
So you just heard them talking.
Well, like I saw the videos of like their like before, like
Didn't they like slit their wrist or something?
they drank something.
Oh.
It was
okay.
poison.
Right.
It was like cyanide based.
Huh.
I think I could be completely wrong, but yeah.
That's crazy. And you said so most of those people didn't want to die?
Not with Heaven's Jonestown. Jonestown, a lot of those people didn't.
Yeah, Jonestown.
What is
Heaven's Gate was voluntary because they're all just fucking crazy people. But
Jonestown, a lot of those people, you can hear those tapes too, and that's really sad.
yeah.
What is Jonestown? Same thing?
It was this group, same religious reasons, thinking that they were just more living better lives outskirt, and the cult leader killed, was it a politician?
I think so. I think it was some sort of politician that was like
because he
poking
didn't
around
want,
too much.
They're poking around too much, so he killed him, and because he didn't want to get caught, he was just like, we're just go. That's where the
drink the Kool-Aid.
thing comes from.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, it's our time to like go to transcendence and
Yeah.
like leave the earth. So he made all the kids, all the women, himself. He was last. Drink this Kool-Aid, and you can hear like the women, the kids crying and saying like, I don't want to do this, like I'm not ready, blah 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 blah
They
blah.
made a movie about that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And pretty much like you can hear all of them like in tears, not ready, and then like pretty much he was holding them at gunpoint to do it. So it's either you get shot or you drink the Kool-Aid and let it take, which is awful because it hurts, and it's like frothing out of the mouth, and like a lot of people like in seizures.
Suffocation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would rather have just gotten shot.
Yeah.
Shoot me in the head, dude.
I think did he shoot himself,
I don't know.
or did he drink it?
I don't know.
Because I don't remember. Either.
I don't.
Is that more so like where the strain "eat the cake" or "don't eat the cake" came from?
You're thinking of "don't drink the Kool-Aid."
Yeah,
That's where it comes from.
That's where it comes
that's
from.
where it comes from.
Yeah.
But I've heard people phrase it like "don't eat the cake"
Oh, really?
or "the cake is a lie."
That's from Portal.
Oh, is it?
Cake is a lie is from Portal. Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming that's where they got inspiration from, like "don't drink the Kool-Aid."
I mean, maybe.
Don't eat the cake.
Well, I think the reason for Portal they said the cake is a lie because in the game your character at the end was gonna get a cake. That was like the whole thing. Like, oh, if you do this, we'll give you cake as like a little reward thing. And so you see like cake is a lie.
For that?
Well,
Is that really what that game is about?
well, no,
Not necessarily.
no. The whole premise of the
They were
game.
just excited for the end of the
Yeah,
game.
that was what
they were
the-
gonna get a cake. Yeah, okay.
The girl in Portal was like a science experiment, and the scientists were like, oh, if you do these experiments, we'll give you cake as like a reward. And then you find this little secret room that's like, oh, the cake is a lie, showing that the scientists aren't being truthful with you, stuff
Is it
like
like
that.
a Matrix thing where it's like the red and blue pill, the red pill or whatever is gonna like bring everything to light?
Not really. It's just you kind of find out that like the scientists are lying to you, and you try to escape the facility.
Okay.
That's
But they
basically
were
what it
just
is.
robots, right?
In two it's robots, but in one it's an actual person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one you play as Shell, I think her name is, right?
Oh, fucking better
I'm pretty
play
sure
it.
it's Shell.
Interesting. I've never played Portal.
That's
so I
fucking
have no
sad.
idea.
Yeah, it's a pretty sad game.
That's pretty dark.
Yeah,
Morbid.
yeah. I don't know anything about Portal 2 except you play as robots. I never really bothered
What's
with that one.
the Little Nightmares?
Little Nightmares,
That
yeah, that's a
stuff's
pretty good one.
fucked up.
Yeah, I want to play that game, but
Is that like that high graphic resolution where you kind of walking
yeah,
Yeah.
with little
side?
little girl in the raincoat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Those games are like so. I'm like somebody really
Why-
sad.
I don't
sick
understand
had to
what
do this.
what happened in that game.
I don't
just, like,
know.
It was so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like she.
It's
ate
kind of like
people.
like Frambo. You guys remember that game?
Yeah, I do
Frambo.
remember
Rambo?
Yeah. Here, I'm sure if I show you a photo of it, you'll.
Fuck is a Frambo?
Frambo was a 2D puzzle click and point and
That's
click.
why I never played it.
This one, Frambo. You don't remember anything about that?
Yeah, that stuff was pretty scary.
Yeah, I have no what the fuck that is.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, I think you would like Frambo. It's very horror, very surreal, psychological kind
Can I
of
get
shit.
it on PS2?
It was like
or
convincing her to
PS4?
do things,
I'm pretty sure.
right?
I think so. Yeah.
Or on my Switch?
Yeah, I
It
think
was-
you can get it on one of those.
It was like her pet,
Woo!
right?
I'm gonna get that lamb.
Yeah, the
game.
cat. The cat was like manipulating
Oh,
her.
I've
and
seen
shit.
that. Like, is that like an updated thing?
This?
Yeah.
No, I think it's just art they made for
Maybe
it.
I've seen that picture before.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That one was
Well, no.
pretty. I remember watching it a little bit
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
a bunch of
Shit was
gruesome
pretty
shit.
scary.
Yeah, I watched Markiplier play through the whole thing.
Yes,
Boy.
that's who I watched.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think it is in the human brains that make you fascinated with these topics? What do you think it is?
Autism.
Yeah. Do you think it's
I-
fear?
I
Do you
think
think
it's-
it's because we're feeding in that fear response and we want to understand something that scares us? Or do you think
I
it's
think it's
something
a
I think
thought
it's
of the
a-
unknown.
else? Okay.
I think it's a curiosity killed the
Yeah.
cat.
Yeah.
Like you don't know something and you want to know it, so
It's
now
like,
you're.
how else
interested
are we
in it.
supposed to learn about it if we don't like?
Yeah.
Do you think learning about it scares you more?
Yeah. Well,
I think it can.
Yeah, it can, but it can also bring a lot of comfort.
I think you,
Mhm.
you find a little comfort in knowing about it, like knowing about skinwalkers rather than not knowing about them.
Yeah, fair.
But would
Like,
you feel
it's-
better about not knowing they existed?
No, I'd rather know what that
So you
fucking
can be
thing
prepared.
Is.
I think.
I'd rather not run after somebody if they were screaming for help.
know,
Yeah, true.
Like part of me wants to like really believe it, but like I also don't want to know.
Yeah.
Like
Like, here's my thing about like ghosts and demons and all that stuff. Like would you ever go to the Zach Bagans like Haunted Museum?
no.
No. Well, you
Yeah.
would never.
I'm not curious
You
enough.
said you would, so don't say no because you already agreed to it.
Okay. Sure. I don't remember saying yes,
We've
but
had
sure.
this conversation when we were watching Ghost Adventures the other day.
Okay.
This happened apparently.
Fair enough.
But like for you guys wouldn't because what do you believe that those artifacts are actually haunted, or do you or are you just more afraid of like something being attached?
I don't.
Attached.
I don't believe it necessary. But what are the fucking chances that it is
Yeah.
what it is?
So you don't
and-
you don't believe in it, but just in case it's real, you
Yeah,
don't want to
just
be
in case
around it.
it's real,
Okay.
I don't want that shit to happen to me.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I can't fault you for
I
that.
am curious
So that is fear.
enough to like.
but that fear
have
is
a
gonna
fear
make
for
it
it.
happen more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like, what if for one day I open a door and that shit happens.
The
to
Hat
me,
Man's right there.
and
Stop
all
talking
that
about
fear
that.
just manifests inside me, and
Yeah.
I go crazy.
Yeah. Could happen. Hey, could happen.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's the fear of not knowing, but acknowledging that it could be real.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get you. All right. Well, I think with that we're at over an hour, so I think that'll go ahead and wrap up this video.
We should all commit group suicide now.
Yes, Heaven's Gate Part 2. So is there anything you boys want to like bring back up or touch back on, or any closing remarks for you guys? What?
Terrified.
Terrified? So no
Leave the
skinwalkers?
Titanic alone.
Yeah,
Leave the Titanic alone. Don't go to Indian reservations
Don't go to
unless it's a casino.
Yes.
And even then, they will steal your money.
Yeah. That's the only thing you're losing.
Going to the Indian reservation, either lose your life or lose your money.
Yes.
All right, so anything else you guys want to depart the viewers with?
If you ever play with a Ouija board, make sure to say goodbye.
Yeah, say goodbye on the Ouija board.
Don't play with a Ouija board ever.
Yeah, don't
Just
don't
don't
play with a
even.
Ouija board.
Just don't ever play with a Ouija board.
But if you end up playing a Ouija board and say goodbye, don't go to Indian reservations. Leave the fucking Titanic alone.
Don't spend $250,000
Just to die.
to implode.
Look, all I'm saying is if they've had hundreds of expeditions, I'm going. That's all I'm saying.
Do your research. Don't use Logitech controllers.
Yeah.
Um,
Get good carbon filters.
and be respectful to the dead.
Get good carbon filters.
Oh God.
All right, well, I think that'll go ahead and do it for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to come back next Monday at 12 p.m. for another podcast. Come back this Friday at 12 p.m. for gaming videos. Keep an eye out for us on other platforms. I'm working on that. It's just there's a lot of bullshit coming up. Like for SoundCloud, I uploaded 3 of the old ones that have already reached the maximum amount of megabytes for the account. So I got to get SoundCloud
What?
Premium for it.
How much is it bringing?
It's like $100 for a year.
Oh, never mind.
It's not bad.
It's less than $10 a month.
Yeah, it's really not bad, especially if you buy it in bulk for a year. It's just like getting around to doing it because I gotta upload like 30 episodes onto the platform just to get it all caught up. Same with like Rumble and stuff. That's something I'm working on. Same with the
Spotify.
commercial. Yeah, I want to do Spotify and Apple Music. It's just there's a lot of hoops you gotta jump through to do it.
Yeah, there's.
So that is something I'm working on. But SoundCloud and Rumble I could just upload to now. So I figured I might as well just do that. So
Google has its own podcast platform too.
does it?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. Thank you for letting me know.
And Amazon.
Oh really? Okay.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't even bother with the Amazon one. That one's their app is so shit.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking uses it.
Yeah, Amazon.
Google, yes.
Google.
Google.
Yeah, I know Google. I didn't know about Google, but I'll look into that. And then Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud I really want to get on. That's in the works as it is. It's just a lot of hoops you gotta jump through.
Yes, sir.
But that'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys for joining. Come back next Monday at 12. And remember that just like this podcast, depression is just a session and too soon shall pass. We will see you guys next Monday at 12. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.